Hi everyone, it's Donnie Lowy from Closeoutexplosion.com. Hope you're doing well. The next time you come to New York, you are welcome to visit my warehouse. Hope you're doing great. Today I'd like to discuss with you something very important that pertains to the selling of wholesale products, and that is determining your actual cost for those products. Now, I've covered different factors such as your shipping costs, your storage costs, if you have any employees, the cost of paying those employees, and factoring various costs into the actual price that you paid. So meaning you could have paid $10 for a blouse, you could have paid $20 for a brand name dress, but if you have other variable and fixed costs that increase the cost of that product by another 50%, then you have to realize that you paid, instead of paying $10 for the blouse, you actually paid $15, or your cost was $15 for the blouse, or the $20 dress actually cost you $30. Now, those are, I would say, external costs, right? Those are costs that your business has and that increases what you've actually laid out, the money that you've laid out for the inventory that you have, right? Because you've laid out the price, you've laid out the money that you have paid the vendor, your wholesale supplier, but you've also laid out money to various other vendors that you interact with, whether they're the landlord, the shipping company, the advertising company, whether you use Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, or whether you're paying someone to pack your orders. Those are all costs, right? That's money that you're laying out, which has to be factored in to the cost of the merchandise. Now, I want to discuss with you something different, and that is trying to determine what the actual cost of the items is when it comes to selling those products. So we've already covered the variable and fixed costs, and that should give you an idea how to do it. And for example, we're going to assume you're paying $15 for, I don't know, let's say a nice dress, and your costs are 50%. You know what, I want to make the math even simpler. So you're paying $20 for a really nice brand name dress. Your costs are 50%. So now you're actually paying for that dress $30. Your cost for that dress is $30. Now you have 50 dresses and you're really excited. You're going to sell them for $100 each. And then, you start doing your sales, and you want to know how much have you actually made on those dresses. So you might say, well, I'm selling the dresses for $100, so I've obviously made $70 a dress. And now you are correct in, I would say, like gross terms, in general terms. Yeah, if you paid $20 and your expenses for that dress, your additional expenses adds another $10 to that dress, so your unit cost is $30. You sell the dress for $100, you made $70 on that dress. But here's the thing. What if you discover that throughout the course of running your business, you actually only sell 90% of your products? That means that the actual cost of your products now is 10% more than you thought it was, and I'll explain why. You have 50 dresses, which cost you $20 each. You're not going to sell 50 dresses with this example. You're selling 90% of those dresses. In other words, you're selling 45 of the 50 dresses. You have 5 dresses that for whatever reason you're not selling. It's the size, the color, the style, or you just have enough customers to sell 45 dresses. As it may be, throughout the course of running your business, you're able to sell 90% of your merchandise, right? And everyone, of course, is going to have different numbers. Some people might sell everything. Some people might sell a much smaller percentage of their merchandise. But let's go for the example here. We're going to go with 90%. So now we said you spent $1,000 for 50 dresses. So you spent $20 a dress. But you're only selling 90% of those dresses. You're only selling 45 of those dresses. So actually, you need to divide the $1,000 that you spent for those 50 dresses by not 50, by 45 dresses. And that's going to approximately be about $22 and change per dress, right? Because we have $1,000. If you multiply 20 times 45, that's $900. Another $2 a dress, that is $990. So it's about, your cost is about, I would say, about $22.20 per dress. So when you actually sell your dress, let's say it's $22 per dress. Now you haven't made $80 a dress. And actually, remember, we're adding another 50%. But let's start out this way, right? Because you're adding 50% because of your other costs that you have involved in running your business. But you're paying, now you've paid $20 a dress, but your actual cost, because you're only selling 90% of the dresses is $22 a dress. So that means you're not making $80 gross, you're making $78 gross. And definitely use a calculator to verify my math. And remember, everyone's going to have a different situation. Some people will sell more, some people will sell less. But here's the thing. In this situation, yeah, you know what? A $2 dress, $2 extra cost per dress, really isn't that substantial unless your profit margin because of your other expenses is very narrow, then it does make a big difference. Let's say your complete net profit in running your business is 20%. So if your actual costs are 10% more, now you've cut down your net profit by half. And let's give you another example. Let's say you buy from my warehouse, you buy a box of 500 pieces of jewelry, assorted fashion jewelry, and you paid $200 for the 500 pieces. So you've actually paid 40 cents per piece. Now let's say out of the 500 pieces, you're going to sell 400 pieces. So that means that 20% you haven't been able to sell. So now each piece, instead of it costing you 40 cents, is going to cost you approximately 20% more, because 20% of that lot you haven't been able to sell. It's going to be a little more than 20%, but we'll say 20% for now. So instead of paying out 40 cents per piece, you have paid the same $200, but your cost per piece has increased. Instead of 40 cents, now you've actually paid 48 cents per piece. So the importance is that if you're planning to sell the jewelry at only 45 cents, you'd have to know now that you need to raise your price. So you would sell that jewelry for a minimum of 50 cents. Hopefully you want to sell it for more because you want to make more money. But what I'm trying to show you is that you need to make sure that you know what your actual cost per unit is when you set the price of your merchandise. Because whether it's the dresses or the jewelry, if you're planning to only increase let's say your prices over, let's say 20% over your cost, and you're not selling 20% of the merchandise, then you're breaking even. So in that case, if you're not selling 20% of your merchandise, you need to have a profit margin that's bigger, that's larger than 20%. Right? So for instance, if you bought a suit for $30, a women's suit for $30, and you said, you know what, I'm happy making 20% on it, so I'm going to sell that suit for $36. But you're not selling all of your suits, and you're selling only 90% of the suits. So instead of $30, now actually your cost per item is $33. So if you want to make a 20% margin, what you would do is you have to multiply that 33 by 20%, and that's the amount that you would add. And I encourage you to work on a higher margin. I think if you're doing retail, if you have a nice boutique, I think it's fair, or you should try at least, to work at 100% meaning 100% markup, or a 50% markup. As a wholesaler, I work on a very low markup because I want to move my merchandise. I want to do volume, and I want to allow retailers to make money. Now, some of my markups are higher, some are lower. Sometimes I break even, sometimes I lose on certain items, sometimes I do pretty well on other items. But as a retailer, you do want to always aim high, because while you do want to do volume, but you also are going to be spending more time with the customers, and you're going to be focusing on selling up smaller quantity of items. You need to make more per item as compared to a wholesaler who's doing a large volume. Now, if you are a wholesaler, or if you're selling on a wholesale basis, then it's okay to make a very small amount per item. It's okay to make a very small markup per item because you're doing a large volume, or at least you are aiming to sell a large volume of merchandise. So, for example, in my business with Closeoutexplosion.com, I'm okay with working with a relatively small margin because I am trying to do a lot of volume. And that also enables my customers to have more space, because if I buy a dress for $18 and I sell it for $20, you know what, I might have only made, let's say, about 12 or 13, let's say a 12 or 13% markup, but my customer now is getting an amazing deal. They're getting, let's say, a $200 dress for only $20. They could hopefully turn it around and sell it for, I don't know, $80, $100, $150, and maybe they could charge the full price, a full $200. And my customer will say, wow, I did so well in my store, let me go back and buy more dresses from Donnie Lowy. So if you are doing a wholesale, I recommend work on the low markups. You allow your customers, retailers, or flea market vendors, or online sellers to make more money. And if you're a retailer, then take your time. Don't rush to sell all of your merchandise quickly, but instead focus on selling each item. Focus on the customer relationship so you have a lifetime customer who is happy to buy the merchandise from you. Give your customers a really good deal, but they'll understand that you're putting a lot of effort into serving them, into giving them the best available merchandise that is in the market. And for that effort and for your ability to supply the merchandise that they need, you are entitled to work at a decent profit margin. All right, my website is closeoutexplosion.com. The next time you are in New York, I would like to invite you to visit my warehouse. Thank you and have a great day.